Hi, welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be doing another exciting makeup battle. The products in competition today are all liquid blushes. I have two brands you can find at Sephora that are more prestige beauty, a cult favorite, and a drugstore find. As with our other battles, we are going to talk about which of these products have the most products, the number of shades, the most cost effective, and which ones are your overall best and worst buys. Let's get started. As always, the products that I'm featuring in these battles are from my personal collection. So although there are more than 4 liquid blushes, we're going to talk about these 4 today because I have them and I have tried them. I don't want to make any judgment calls or recommendations on things I haven't tried, but if you have products that you think should have been included in this battle or products that you think we should battle in the future, don't forget to let me know in the comments below. Today we are going to talk about Rare Beauty, Ilia Beauty, Glossier, and Maybelline. Of course, the newest to this group is this liquid blush from Rare Beauty. It is the Soft Pinch Liquid Blush. This is $20. It comes in 8 different shades, 4 dewy, 4 matte. It has a doe foot applicator and it is extremely pigmented. Notice I'm only using like 2 dots because it's very easy to get overwhelmed really quickly with this product like I did. That was just 2 drops. Probably only need like 1 drop per cheek. But you can see that it is super smooth and it already feels almost like a powder consistency on my skin. This is the shade Grace. This also contains 7.5 milliliters worth of product, and at 1 drop per cheek, 2 drops per application, this bottle will last you forever. This is so much product. Again, it is $20 per bottle, which makes it $2.67 per milliliter. Next up, we have Elia Beauty. I have the shade Before Today. This is $32 and comes in 5 different shades. This has like a lip balm type applicator. Just gonna take a little bit, swatch it. It's a little bit thicker, almost feels more like a lip gloss. And as you can see, it's a lot more sheer right off the bat than the Rare Beauty. It's super soft, super pretty, very easy to blend. As you can see, it did blend a little bit better than the Rare Beauty. You can see where that kind of left a streak, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. This is 7 milliliters and at $32, that makes it $4.57 per milliliter. Next up, we have the cult favorite Glossier Cloud Paint in Puff. This is $18 and comes in 6 shades. Ooh, this doesn't really have an applicator. It's kind of liquidy. I'm gonna go ahead and close this before I spill it on myself. And here is your swatch of the Cloud Paint in Puff. It is kind of, texture-wise, it's kind of a hybrid between the Rare Beauty and the Ilia. It's not as fast drying and kind of bam like the Rare Beauty is. You do have a little bit more playtime with it, but it's also not as thick as the Ilia was. As you can see, it does sheer out into a nice, pretty sheer blush. They're kind of messy. My swatches are not pretty, sorry. This is 10 milliliters and at $18 per tube, that makes it $1.80 per milliliter. Last but not least, we have the Maybelline Cheek Heat. This is $8 and comes in 6 shades. I have the shade 20 Rose Flush. This has the same kind of applicator or non-applicator as the Glossier. I've only been taking like a half a pea size amount of each product, and as you can see in these swatches, that is way too much. So you really don't need a lot of these liquid blushes at all. Here is your Maybelline Cheek Heat. It is very, very similar to the Glossier. You have a lot of playtime. It's very blendable. It has a nice consistency, but it's not thick, and it doesn't dry super fast like this one. And you can see even just that little bit really blended out a lot. So don't do this when you put it on yourself. This is 7.6 milliliters and at $8 a piece, that makes it $1.05 per milliliter. Before we move on to the important statistics, let's just talk about form and function a little bit. So again, even though I did worst practices and not best practices on these swatches, they look a little big and wild and crazy. I really wanted you to see how much playtime you have with each blush and kind of the impact that it will give. So Rare Rare Beauty, you can see that line that it left in the middle, and that is not going to budge. This stuff really stays, but you don't have a lot of playtime. So you really have to go in intentionally and quickly to blend that out, because if you go kind of dot, grab your beauty blender, go in, start to blend, you might be stuck with 3 dots of blush and have it not budge. So I would recommend doing one side, blend it out, do the other side, blend it out. Really work with it until you have no more playtime left, instead of thinking that you have playtime when you don't. You can also see that it stayed a lot more opaque than the others. It didn't sheer out nearly as much, and again, it didn't take up as much space. It really stays concentrated where you put that blush. The Ilia Beauty has almost a more of like a lip gloss consistency, so it's a little bit thicker, a little bit stickier. So you do have some playtime with that, but just make sure with whatever you're wearing under or around it that you're not smushing that product around as you're trying to blend in that kind of sticky blush. Keep in mind the same thing with the Glossier and the Maybelline, because although they are thinner, they are a little bit more liquidy, which means you might be smushing things around. So when you use a liquid blush, just make sure you go in with your beauty blender and kind of tap and blend, and make sure you're not smushing and smudging things around, because you don't want to mess up anything that is under your blush. Also, just like with cream products, it's a lot easier to layer liquid products on top of liquid products than it is to layer liquid products on top of powders. If you are a beginner, I would say go with the Glossier or the Maybelline. Not only are they less expensive, but you have a lot more playtime, and they are a little bit more sheer and transparent. So you can really work with it, layer it, and build that up instead of getting in too deep and not being able to get that color back off. With that being said, I have used all 4 of these multiple times. They are all incredible blushes. They each have very, very endearing qualities. They are so beautiful. They wear nicely. There really aren't any of the 4 that I would not recommend. So with that being said, let's get into those all-important statistics, because I know that just wear factor isn't always the one thing you're thinking about when you go to buy a product. Price, shade range, and value are all equally important. To some people, just the straight up cost is going to be that deciding factor of which blush they are going to pick. On the other hand, you might be looking for shade range. Maybe you need a specific tone or a specific color for your look. That's going to really drive your decision. Of course, value is huge too. I love a great value. When a product has a larger pan size and a higher cost, sometimes the value is higher than that of a product with a smaller pan size with a smaller cost. So although you may be paying for less product up front, you may be paying more in the long run for the same quantity as the more expensive one. So let's run the numbers and find out where these blushes land. When it comes to price, the Maybelline is the least expensive and the Elia Beauty is the most expensive. Maybelline is $8. Elia Beauty is $32. Rare Beauty and Glossier land right about in the middle at $18 and $20. When it comes to size, Glossier contains the most product, whereas Elia Beauty contains the least. Glossier has 10 milliliters per package, and Elia has 7. Rare Beauty and Maybelline are just ahead of Elia by a little bit with 7.5 and 7.6 milliliters each. When it comes to value, Maybelline is your winner with $1.05 per milliliter. On the other end of the spectrum, Elia Beauty comes in with $4.57 per milliliter. Just in case you're wondering, Glossier comes in just after Maybelline at $1.80 per milliliter, and Rare Beauty is in the middle at $2.67 per milliliter. When it comes to shade range, Elia Beauty has the lowest shade range at 5 shades. Rare Beauty is your winner at 8 shades. Glossier and Maybelline have 6 shades each. When looking at all the stats, there's really no clear winner in this liquid blush battle. Maybelline is your lowest cost and your best value. Glossier gives you the most product, and Rare Beauty gives you the most shades. Elia Beauty is the most expensive with the least amount of product and the least number of shades, but it's still a really great product. So it really just comes down to what you are looking for and what works best for you. Whether you're looking for cost, value, or number of shades, you're sure to find what you're looking for with one of these 4 products. I'm just here to help you run the numbers. Today I'm wearing the Rare Beauty Soft Pinch Liquid Blush in Bliss. It's very soft and natural, but of course I had to wear a liquid blush for the liquid blush battle. I just thought this shade worked best with this look. Now it's your turn. Let me know in the comments below what you think of these liquid blushes and what product you want to see battle it out next. And while you're at it, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, ring the bell so you know when I launch a new video, and I'll see you next time.